I am back with another World Coin Mystery Lot. This one is a 3-pound World Coin lot. This comes from the dealer who sells what I think are the best value coin lots. They're not the best lots. There are some people on eBay that have some really nice lots. They also charge a lot more. He forgot to write the price on this one, but his 3-pound lots right now are $20. And you're not going to find that on eBay from anybody unless it's just garbage. And so the last time I bought from him, they were extra good, but that was also 6 months ago. So he's probably gotten his supply from somewhere else. So I'm going to take the staples and the tape off of this one, and we're going to dig in. Now, it's hard to find a true mystery lot that has been unsearched. This guy does not claim that his coin lots are unsearched. What he does is he just buys mystery lots from other places, bulk lots, picks out what he thinks he can sell individually, and then puts the rest into these bulk lot bags. And then I have a way that I can use a lot of these. So we're going to just start digging in. We're not going to look at every coin or we would be here forever. But we're going to start with this one from Pakistan. From 2002, this one is a 5 rupee. So sometimes these bulk lots can be full of damaged coins. That one seems a little bit kind of dirty. That one too. I like these from Norway. This series has animals on them. So I hope this is not one of those bags where a lot of them come out kind of grimy. This one, I was going to say is pretty good, but it's got a rust spot on it that's pretty bad. But this, the modern 1/10 of a Balboa, dime, decimo of a Balboa from 2019. I think that one's pretty good. And then Belize, 5 cents. I like this one right here. This is a country that you don't find as often. Suriname. We've got a 100-cent coin. That one's pretty good. See that we've been around euros long enough now that they're starting to get a little bit grimy. That one's from Ireland. Another reason why it might end up in a lot like this is sometimes they're just plated and have holes in it. So this is not a nickel-colored coin. This one is that's a copper coin, and it's got 2 holes in it. So that one's definitely been plated at some point. It's this one right here. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of coins that are not as good so far. Here's the most modern of the Thailand 1-baht coins. But definitely not rare at all. There are over 1 billion of those made. So I'm still looking for some of the rarer things. And here, that's what the Netherlands Euro coins look like. Don't like how these are all grimy, and that one even has like glue on it or something. But this was one from Ecuador. Their currency is pegged to the United States currency. So this one, featuring Jose Joaquin de Olmedo, would be worth American money, also 25 cents. This is one from Cuba, part of the tourism money, featuring the Trinidad Castle. The tourism coins are a lot easier to find than the modern coins, which were intended for the population to spend. Here's a modern 5 rupees from India. Amazing how they can get well worn in 16 years. I like that. So this one made it in here because of the scratch that goes across it, but this one is from Peru. Features Tupac Amaru, who was I believe he was the last of the Incan leaders. From Kuwait, this one would be a 50 fils, but pretty much all their coins look about the same. That would be from the year 1405, which is 1985. couple of coins stuck together. And you might see some coins on here that I'm passing over that you think, well, that one's not that common, but if it's appeared in one of my videos in the last few months, then I would probably skip over it. I do so far like this one from Belgium, 1 franc from 1923. Not a high value coin, it's kind of well worn, but I like that one. Didn't have anything obviously wrong with it. From Nicaragua, this one is a 1 Cordoba from 2007. The modern Czechoslovakian 1 Koruna. Here is, has a weird scratch on it, from United Arab Emirates. I believe this is a 1 dirham, and that's why it was stuck to the other coin. I'm going to definitely have to wash my hands after this video. Got that 1 pot on it. Here's one from Russia in the decade after they were no longer part of the Soviet Union, so from 1998. The 5 rubles. You'll find versions of this where the text at the bottom is straight, and sometimes there's other versions where it's curved. From Haiti, from 1975, we've got this 10 centimes. From Singapore, from 2009, we've got a 50 cents coin. That one is not seen as often. I get a lot of 100 yens in these mystery lots, and I guess it goes to show it's kind of hard to figure out how to get your foreign exchange value out of these. There was a time where I would get like 2 or 3 of these out of every pound of coins from them, and just in foreign exchange value, they're worth about 65 cents each, and so I wish I had a way of cashing those in. Here is the Eastern Caribbean states, 25 cents. The modern 2 rupee from 2012. Hadn't seen one of these in a while. The 25 centimo from the Philippines with their previous coin design. Here's 20 pesewas from Ghana from 2016 on a stainless steel coin. I believe that is the cocoa pod. Here's a Soviet coin. 1961 was the year that the design started of the design that is most easiest to find across all of their low-level coins. Here's a 1 kuna from Croatia, featuring the bird from 1999. This one could be a good one, a 1 pound coin from Egypt featuring the Sphinx. So there are, I have an uncle in the family who is interested in Egyptology, and so I gave him one of those a few years ago. He really liked it. Modern Romania coins don't really have a lot of interest to them, but they are 5 bani. There's kind of a very simple and plain design on that one. Another coin from Cuba, the tourism coin. Yeah, the 25 cent earlier, and this one is the 10 centavos featuring the Castillo de la Huerta. So this is the look of the Cuban tourism coin since about 1993 or 4 or so. Here's a really good one for this kind of lot. It's the modern British 1 pound coin. I would be I'm surprised that something like this would be even in here. The pound is worth more than the United States dollar, and there's nothing wrong with this. I guess he's just got so many of them. But I really like this design because before the pound was bimetallic, the ones that you can find in the 80s and 90s, they had a series where we have the 4 countries that make up the United Kingdom, and each of them is represented with a plant on here. So we've got the British rose, I believe that's the Welsh leek, the Scottish thistle, and the Irish shamrock. And in the older series, you would have one of these four flowers inside of the royal diadem crown. But for the modern £1, they now have all four of them inside the diadem. So that is a good coin in good shape. I already had one of them, but those certainly have a pretty good value. Here's a country that's hard to find, Bosnia and Hercegovina. This is the 10 Feninga, and their language is, the value of the coin and the country is written in two different alphabets on here. Made in 2007, so that's pretty hard to find. In bulk lots, anyway. Aruba, 10 cents. Let's keep digging through here. A little bit harder to find than you would think. From Austria, we've got the 50 Groschen from 1947, so that is half of a shilling. That's a design, it's the one I'm thinking of, didn't last as long as some others. We've got the 5 Koruna from the Czech Republic in 2006. Let's look at this Hong Kong coin. 10 cents from 1979. At one point, the 10-cent coin had an expensive security reading on it, but even though it was only 10 cents. Some of these Saudi Arabian coins can have a pretty good value to them. This one would be a 25 Halala from 1308, I think. So that would make it about 1988. This is a really well-worn India coin from 2008, the 1 rupee with the thumbs up on it. We've got another 100 cent from Suriname. So I'll take those. That is, I don't get too many of them. I like this one from the Eastern Caribbean states. Again, we have Queen Elizabeth on it, but this one features the $1 from 2012. Now, these coins are pegged to the United States currency, but not one for one, so it's not worth the $1. I believe $1 of American money is worth $1.70 of East Caribbean money. So that would make this one, trying to do the math in my head, that would be about, I guess, about 60 cents or so for a value of that one. I think this one is Egypt with the eagle looking to the left, the 2 stars on the shield, but there was a Syrian coin that was pretty similar to that one. There are some coins that you find fairly often. Here it was a circulating commemorative coin from Canada. 1992, they made 1 coin for every province and territory. And this is the coin from Saskatchewan. So that's a pretty good coin and a lot like this. These are becoming pretty easy to find, but I was really happy with it the very first time I got one. But it's the modern Colombia coins that feature native animals and plants. So that one is the 200 pesos from 2017. Another 25 Halala. Checking all the euros. When I first saw this one, I thought this one was in pretty good shape. I have a few of these which are very well worn. Some of these Peruvian coins seemed about the same for 30 or 40 years with a lot of subtle changes. At this time, instead of writing out the date in numbers, they actually spelled it out in Spanish. So 1942, I believe that is 1942 And so if I did have this coin already, this one's probably in better condition, but these brass coins do tarnish really bad. This one almost looks like it's got some black goo on it. But I also noticed this one has an S Mint mark on the back, and I don't remember that being there for a lot of these coins. So that one was probably produced at the San Francisco Mint. Not all of them were produced in the United States, but many of them were. Another of those Cuban tins. Got a modern Venezuelan Bolivar. The ones from 1989, there are a lot of varieties that it's just best to look those up on Numista. Just checking the date. This is a very common half franc from France. I don't think that's silver, but that coin was silver at one time. I think they stopped making that out of silver decades before that. Here's a more modern, when they started going through hyperinflation in Venezuela. That's the 20 Bolivars from 2002. There's the starfish from the Bahamas. That had some redesigns over the years. Let's take a look at this. That one's in rough shape. The George V halfpenny from 1923. I got excited at first when I found that one, but it turned out to not be so good. This one's going to be from the Dominican Republic at 25 centavos. This is a design that they've used for probably 50 or 60 years, and they've made subtle changes over the years. But by now, they don't make the changes as often. But you can see the details on this one pretty good. So we've got the Quetzal bird standing on the scroll, which has their year of liberty or independence, which is September 15th, 1821, held up by a couple of rifles and swords. So I do like that one. It's our third of those from Cuba. Ours our second 100 yen. Here is the modern design of the Bahamas 25-cent coin from 2015. A new stylized look to them, so I do like those that series. Here's a quarter from Panama, another country that has pegged their currency to the United States money. 2001. There are some varieties over the years on this. Sometimes it's the number of stars that appear above the eagle, which is based on the number of states in Panama, so that's one thing to check out. There's also some high relief and low relief versions of those coins to check out. Gotten several Belize 25-cent coins out of here, and so that's a currency that is always pegged to the United States dollar at half the price. So 10 cents of Belize money would be worth 5 cents of American money. It seems like I get more and more euros as time goes by, and it's always the same 3 or 4 countries, it seems like. Here's one from France. Okay, here's a pretty small one from the Philippines. On this side, it features Juan Luna, 1994. It's a 25 centimo featuring a butterfly, and it's got the scientific name on here, Graphium ideoides. Sure, I butchered that, but that's one that we had. Here is one from Ireland that I like. The 10 pence, featuring a fish. I'm thinking that was a salmon, but I'm not sure on that one. Here's one from Vietnam from 1964. The Tin Dong. One of the more common coins that you get from there, but not too common. Okay, here's one you don't see as often. This one's going to be a 1 kobo. I think this is from Nigeria. So I like that one. Well, I like this one from India as well. Now, he probably left it in here because it is fairly well worn, but it is a 1-year commemorative coin. It is the Platinum Jubilee of the Reserve Bank of India. So we've got the Bengal tiger in front of, I guess that's kind of a fern. And it has the dates. This coin was made in 2010. The bank was formed in 1935. I guess that was when they were still British controlled, and so this is the Platinum Jubilee. And then it's also got a star mint mark, which is not one of the, below the date, that's not a common mint mark for them. Got another of those Cuban coins. Shame this one's so rusty, but this one is the South African farthing, or 1/4 of a penny, from 1955, featuring a couple of birds on there. From Panama, from 2001, their 5-cent coin, or 5 centésimos, have recently featured Cerro Sotillo. Another one from Guatemala, but this one is quite tiny. This is the same coat of arms on the back. This one features a tree. I like finding these in bulk lots. A little bit more well-worn than I'd like to find it, but the New Zealand 50 pence, ooh, that side is kind of gross. It's been a while since we've had a gross coin in here, but featuring the really detailed picture of the sailboat Endeavour. So another of these from United Arab Emirates. That one is shinier. From Singapore, we've got a swordfish on there. Not particularly rare coin from Colombia with the 50 pesos. Still wanted to show it off. Our third 100 yen. I could cash them in. That would be about $2 worth. One of the last coins from the Netherlands before they switched to the euro. This design lasted for 20 or 30 years, I think, but that's the smallest, one of the smaller valued coins that they had. Let's take a look at this one from Costa Rica from 1984. Pretty much almost all the Costa Rican coins look about the same, but with subtle differences over the years. Just like Panama, there could be a difference in the number of stars that go across the top of the scene there. You've got sometimes the words are raised, sometimes the letters are cut in. You've got small boats, big boats, so different varieties to look for on there. Here's a Bahrain 100. I don't think they use the fills. I forgot what their currency is, but that looks like 1970. That is actually 1965 in their number system. Here's one from Iceland, some of their modern coins featuring animals. So we've got some kind of cow on this side on the 10 Auror coin from 1981. We flip it over and we have a squid. So I don't know that I've seen a squid on a coin from any other country. And if I knew how to cash them in, we would say the same with the British 50 pence, which would be worth a little bit more than American 50 pence, I think, depending on exchange rate. There's our first 50 yen from Japan. From Yugoslavia, we have a 2 dinara from 1953. This is a design that spanned a couple of different names of the country. So this is the Federated Narodna Republic of Yugoslavia, but even the 2 dinars from the 60s look pretty much the same. It's just the name of the country has changed on the other side. Another 15 kopeck, 1979 on that one. The Swiss one Rappen from 1956. Here is a Chinese coin that is definitely a fake. It's warped, so that's not too much to worry about. But on this one, you can see where it looks like the little bumps were intended to be there. So if you ever see that, that pretty much guarantees that it was a fake. If it was meant to have that design on it. Here's one from Central Bank, States of West Africa. It's going to be a 50 francs from 1972. That one's in fairly decent shape. You don't always find these low denomination coins from Thailand all that often, and there's so many of them that I can't keep them straight. But this one's the 25 satang and features, I guess, the steeple of some kind of temple on here. The 1 bahts are easy to find. It's the 50 and the 25 and the 10 satangs that are a little bit harder to find. If you haven't seen the modern 10 cent from the Bahamas with the 2 fish on it, I really like their design because it's got the fish poking its head out of water on here, so I do like that one. This one from the Barbados is, well, I was going to say is in good shape. It does have a little green spot on it. Featuring, I guess that is a windmill. Here was the old design of the Bahamas 10 cent coin. Still a nice coin, but I think the newer ones are prettier. Here's one from Zambia from 1972. This one is a 1 ngui. I believe that is an aardvark or an anteater on their coin. Yeah, these modern 1 bahts with the new Rama the 10th on them, I was thrilled when I first started to find them, but now they are just so common, and I get them all the time, that they are no longer rare. Here is the Italian 100 lira design that didn't last as long. This is an India 5 rupee with a dot as a mint mark. So the dot you don't see as often either. A couple other little tiny coins on here. We're going to finish off with this one from Malta from 1991. And this one features another fish for their 10 cents coin. So that's the end of the bulk video here, the bulk lot. And I would say this one was an okay lot. Definitely worth $20. Didn't have as many special pieces in it as some of the ones I've gotten in the past, but I'm still think it's a good mix on here. All right, I'll catch you in the next video. And until then, bye.